The 28th of March 2022, and that fuel station. It's not a petrol station, it's a fuel station. Yeah. An energy station. There'll come a time when you better just pop in, plug your vehicle in, and get a super fast charge. Half an hour full to brim. Can't do that in your house. Fucking hell. Yeah, I digress. A quick digression. A recent video from Harry's Garage. He reviews the new, or the current model, iX. I believe it's part of the iX range, which is BMW's electric range, I think. And it's their electric version of the X5. Its nearest sort of, its nearest similar model is, an X5. But this iX, it's got a right long, gibbering fucking X5, this, that, the other, underground, overground, wombling free, whatever the fuck. Anyway, Harry's Garage, fantastic channel. Awesome reviews of awesome cars. So, well, this BMW, it's wholly electrical. It's not a hybrid, it's electric. And he's done some tests on it. He's doing it up and down, and he's like, you can get 300 miles out of it. Right, okay. Now, 300 miles is pretty much the range of most internal combustion engine vehicles. Well, it's the range of most petrol cars. It's 300 miles, give or take. There are exceptions. For example, historically, the BMW M5, the third generation M5, I don't know which model designation, which BMW model designation it was, but the third generation BMW M5, the saucy one with the V8, with the V8 in it. You had the original, which had the engine out of the BMW M1. Then you had the second generation BMW M5 that was in Ronin. It was an S8 in Ronin. Yes, it was an S8 in Ronin, that's correct. But there was also an M5 in there. Anyway, that one, that's like the second. That had a straight 6 as well. But it was a third generation. There were 2 iterations of the second generation M5. One had slightly, the next, like, I don't know if it was particularly facelifted. I think it had a slightly bigger engine, but it was still an inline 6, and it was still the same body shell. But it had a bit more power. And then you had the V8. Ooh. Nice. Well, that notoriously had a shit range on it, because it was the BMW. It was the 5 Series BMW, and the 5 Series BMW of that generation had a particular size fuel tank. But unfortunately, when they took that 5 Series body shell and fuel tank and then stuck an engine in it that only did 18 miles per gallon, suddenly you didn't get 300 mile range out there anymore. So you were always having to fill it up. No, fuck off. Reading a magazine review about an awesome car with, I think, about 400 horsepower. It might be like. Anyway, and they're bleating that they're having to fill it with fuel. Really? That's your problem, is it? You're going to have to fill it with fuel. You're getting a car for free for, an amount of time, a period of time, so you can have a good look at it and see what you think about it, and you're almost certainly working for a magazine. I mean, you might be a freelancer, I don't know. Fair dues, you might be a freelancer. You might be having to pay for your fuel and then claim it, but you're claiming it back. Fuck off. You have to fill it up a bit. Nah. I'm not. Nah. I'm really. Yeah. You've lost my sympathy. Sorry. You have lost my sympathy wholly on the fact of your belly aching. Belly aching about some shit that. Really. Got a nice zillion million horsepower V8 car there that you can play around in and your belly aching that you're having to fill it up every 200 miles. Oh no. Zero sympathy for you. Anyway, back to today. Today being, as I say, the 28th of March 2022. And this fuel station that I pass. Oh, no, beg your pardon, what I was going to say about, so Harry Metcalf, Harry's Garage, he actually used to write for Evo magazine. In fact, I believe he was the editor-in-chief. I believe he set the magazine up and that. Anyway. And he, at one point in the video about this BMW monstrosity, he highlights the different, because there's in part of the bump with this car, you get a bit outlining how long it's going to take you to recharge it from flat to full. And if you do it at your house with normal single phase supply, you see, he lives on a farm, does Mr. Metcalf. He lives on a farm with access to 3-phase, and he's got a nice big motherfucking. You can plug it in, plug it straight into some decent juice, and it takes him 8 hours to fill it from empty at his house. But you and I are piss poor single phase domestic dwelling. It's going to take us 52 hours. $52 hours to charge it up using a normal domestic supply. 50 foot cunting 2 hours. Golly. Not really practical, to be honest. Yeah, no, again, there's the argument that, you're probably not going to be doing 200 miles all the time and running it flat, so you can keep it topped up and blah, 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 blah. But it really does illustrate the fact that you're going to be needing supercharging points where you can take it somewhere and plug it into this monstrosity that just bangs fucking juice into it so hard it's not even funny. You can't even sit in it for a couple of minutes after it's brimmed up. It's that warm. Anyway, so this fuel station that I pass, the current price at the moment is 82.9 pence. 82.9. Fucking triggers me every time. 83 pence per litre for diesel. For their normal for Shell Fuel Save, I think they call it. So, Shell Fuel Save diesel. And they've now got they've listed the price of VP. They've got the price of normal petrol, I think, is £1.69. Again, 68.9. 68.9. £1.69 pence a litre for the normal petrol. But then they're also listing up the price of Shell V-Power petrol, and it's £1.80. 1.9. £1.82. So Shell, super duper, all singing, all dancing, supercar fuel, petrol, is now a penny a litre cheaper than run-of-the-mill diesel. How is that? How is that possible? Oh, but Daniel, diesel's used in trucks and it's used in ships and it's used in all big heavy... Container ships don't run on diesel. They run on some god-awful type of heavy oil. Well, I actually saw again on YouTube a quick explanation of this ship, and it's travelling whilst it's in international waters off the coast of whoever the fuck. It can burn, fluffy bunnies and small children and whatever. No fucker gives a fuck what the fuck you're burning. Nobody cares about all the cancer death belching from your smokestack, from your tailpipe. But as soon as you get into certain, I think it's around the coast of Europe and that, and into North Sea and that areas. Oh no! You got to be burning something that isn't producing shit out of exhaust. Fucking exhaust. So they've got like a changeover period that they've got. We're sailing at such a speed, and we'll be within this sort of clean air area within a certain amount of time. We better change over to less ghastly shit. But yeah, it's just not. It's a laugh. It's an actual laugh. And recently, as I said in another video, in a previous video, Rishi Sunak has taken 5 pence of duty per litre off the price. So £1.83 would be £1.88, £1.90 a litre. Oh, for diesel, and it's more expensive than the full-on, awesome V-powered petrol.